Hi, I'm Rebecca, and I want to show you how to make a beautiful little book to keep your memories of camp in. Not only can you use this to keep your memories of camp in, but you can use the skills you learn in making this book to make books for memories of other things, or even to make a special project for a friend or family member that you just want to say you're special to. Now, as I think about memories and our memories, I remember how much God has done for me. So this makes me think of Psalm 111, 3-4, where the psalmist reminds us that everything God does reveals his glory and his majesty. His righteousness never fails. He causes us to remember his wonderful works. How gracious and merciful is the Lord. And you know what? When we have little memories, we can remember God's blessings and the beautiful gifts he gives us and the things he teaches us. So to make this little book, we're going to start by cutting 2 4x8 sheets of paper. You can use blue or any other color. You can use pattern paper, and this time you can use directional pattern paper. So I could use these bicycles, or I could use a stripe pattern that doesn't have any directions to it. I will have to pay attention if I use directional paper. I do want a heavier paper if I want my book to last longer. So I'm using cardstock, and I recommend that you use that as well. Cardstock can be found at a local craft store or in the office supply section of many other stores. If you get white cardstock and you want a background to it, you can certainly color it before you cut your 4x8 sheets of paper to give you some more background. So once I have my 4x8 sheets of paper, the next thing I need to do is I need to make some score lines. Score lines are just lines that help you have a better crease or fold in your paper, so your fold is a good solid fold. So this first time that I'm demonstrating it, I'm using a scoring board, and you might have a scoring board at home. Again, you can get it at a craft store. And I would score at the 4-inch line and the 8-inch line on my paper. Now, if I don't have a scoring board available to me, I can also, if I have a paper trimmer, use a paper trimmer to score. Use a paper trimmer to score, I'm going to lift up where my cutting normally is done, and there's a track there, and I can use a pen without a point in it by marking. I'm at 4 inches, and I'm just going to go right down the track where the blade would go, and I will be scoring my paper. Now I can either pull out my ruler and go to 8 inches to score my second line, or I could actually just take my paper and do it at 4 inches on one side and flip it around and do 4 inches on the other side, because 4 inches from each side is the same as doing it at 4 inches and 8 inches. Now, if I don't have either of those tools, I can use a ruler to make my score line well. To use a ruler, I'm going to mark on one side of the paper at 4 inches and 8 inches, and then I'm going to go to the other side and also mark at 4 inches and 8 inches. And I'm going to take my ruler then, and I'm going to put it right along my marks, and I'm going to take, and that's where I will just very carefully crease this up, and that will give me also a good straight fold line. Your folds, it may take a little bit more, and you may need to do it with both sides of the paper if you're going to use a ruler, but you can use a ruler to do that. Once I have my paper scored, I'm going to put glue on the end section of one part of my paper. Now, you can do it on, again, you can do it. You have to decide which side of your paper you want to do this with, but you're going to put your glue on it, and you're going to take the square on this side and put it a square from the opposite edge, from the edge of the other paper, right on top of it. So in this case, I'm going to put my bicycles together. I could do it with stripes together if I want to. If I want to do that, I want to make sure that my bicycles are going to be in the same direction on both sides of my paper. But I'm going to put my bicycles together. And then I have a longer piece of paper that has 5 squares on each side. And I'm just going to take, and using those score lines, I'm going to fold that paper back and forth, accordion style, to get my little book. Once I have my book, and this is my book, I'm going to take my summer camp fun sheet, and I'm going to cut out each of these squares, and I will be able to fill these in, and I can add them to my book just like I've done in this one. In addition to that, I can also add some pictures in. Now, your pictures are, you want your pictures to be about 3 inches by 3 inches. You'll have to cut them down a little bit in order to fit them in your book well. But wouldn't it be fun to have pictures of your week at summer camp? Now, in addition to your week at summer camp, you can do the same thing by using just white paper to write your things on, and do one for a vacation, maybe a road trip that your family takes this summer. Or you can put it all about, maybe about my mom or about my friend, and use the paper, use some sections to tell what's special about them and what you like about them, how they're funny, how they make you laugh, or how you feel love from them, and also have pictures of that person and of you and that person, and just make a little memory book of them. So those are all different ways that you can use this little book. I hope you enjoy it.